Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video I'm going to have a look at Lootrush, which is a product that's sort of just launched. They also sort of gained prominence. They just announced that they've raised $12 million in funding. So that's a fairly decent sum of money, US-backed, US-based company, sorry I should say. And I guess what they're trying to do is the way at least I look at them is they're trying to sort of move beyond what sort of guilds have been doing. So in the guild system, the guild generally issues a token, raises money, and then buys game NFTs and then lends them out to its scholars. The scholars basically turn up. They don't have to own any assets. They probably get some training in how to play the game. They play the game, earn some assets in the game, and then those assets are sort of split between the scholar, the person playing the game, and then the guild. So the ratio might be anything from 50-50 to 70-30. So that's really the model that we've been seeing, particularly with Axie Infinity, who has this nice sort of option of sharing assets using a QR code. And we've seen sort of the guild system sort of grow really for the last certainly 6 months, maybe sort of a year or so, I suppose, really revolving around Axie Infinity. But we've not really seen any other game provide that level of scholarship or token quality. So Psy Ball is sort of attempting to do it, Peg Axie attempting to do it. There's lots of other games that sort of positioning themselves, but obviously with the sort of where we are at the moment, particularly with crypto tokens in general going down in price, it's quite difficult. So Lootrush is an attempt to sort of do a similar process, but do it in a slightly different way. So I guess if we can see this as a more transactional relationship. So you're not part of a guild, but you are sort of borrowing NFTs that you don't otherwise own, but you're sort of it's more like a rental model. So they say crypto gaming for all. So challenge your skills for a fun and rewarding experience. So this is a whole bunch of games that they at some point may be supporting. They only support Axie Infinity at the moment, as we'll see. So the idea is this is sort of simple for anyone to use. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I guess this is probably though more focused on a sort of North American, Western European market. So people who probably have, not doing this to earn a few dollars a day, but people who sort of maybe want to check out some of these games without having to spend $1,000 buying some of the NFTs. So you create an account, choose a game, choose your NFTs. You basically, as we'll see, have to sort of pay an upfront rental fee and then an ongoing rental fee. Start playing, and then you earn whatever you earn in the game. So this is, I guess, using a you're not obviously owning your own keys. It's using a custodial wallet where they're controlling the wallet. Or non-custodial wallet, I never get it right around now. Anyway, you don't control the wallet. It's basically an inbuilt wallet to the system. So as with all sort of startups, this is a little bit of hype. So all these games they're showing me, half of these games aren't even live. There we go. That's the website. So yes, they were funded mainly by Andreessen Horowitz, one of the big funders, and Paradigm, also really big sort of heavy crypto game funders. Y Combinator, a more general startup fund based out of San Francisco. So let's log in and see what it looks like when we've logged in. Okay, so I've created an account, and this is what I see when I log in. So it says all games. As we can see here, a bit of the sizzle. Most of these games are, apart from Axie Infinity, all these games are unavailable. I mean, obviously some of these, well, not obviously, but Ember Sword's not live yet at all. Apart from the land NFTs are live, but you can't play the game. Star Atlas, I mean, there are NFTs live. You can sort of play a mini game, but it's not really. I wouldn't really call it a game. That sort of game. Illuvium, again, assets, tokens and stuff. Tokens live, but no game. CryptoKitty is obviously not a game. Topshop not a game. Zed is a game, but they're not supporting it yet. So Rare, Gods Unchained. These are live games, but the other sort of thing to think about actually is. Some of these games are sort of easy to get into. You just get the assets in Gods Unchained and you go and sort of play this trading card game, but still, you have to learn how it works. Some of these, Mirror 4, you have to play the game, as far as I've understood it, you have to play the game for a lot to get to the level where you can actually start using blockchain. So I think they've put these in as placeholder. Something like So Rare would be pretty valuable because those cards are super expensive, and to just sort of rent them out, that would actually be really good. And sort of So Rare would be doesn't have that many sort of players because it's so expensive to play the game. So I can see this sort of service working for something like So Rare. I don't think it's anyone's going to care less about Thetan Arena, which is basically a game that no one's playing at the moment, and it's probably sort of now best seen as a legacy game in terms of its token price being so low. Anyway, so we can see here the only game in town as ever is Axie Infinity. So it says strategy and 70 megabytes and block. Play now. So we click play now. What do we get? So this sort of gives you an idea of how they're sort of pricing it and what you get. So the cheapest one is you pay $5 up front, and you also have to pay 10 SLP tokens a day. So obviously the point is you pay this up front, I guess, with a credit card, and then these tokens you can sort of earn those in the game. So they'll sort of take, they're charging you in fiat and crypto. Maybe it's more sensible to, I don't know, do it all in fiat. Who knows? But I guess if they're thinking this is volatile, maybe they're sort of splitting their business model between some fiat stuff and some crypto stuff. So if you want to choose this one, there are 11 teams available. This is the sort of level at which you're playing at, which defines how much SLP you can earn, and you get 20 energy points. So this is sort of defining the sort of quality of the NFTs you're getting. Obviously, you pay more. So for this one, not available yet. You can pay $75 and pay 120 SLP a day rental. There are sort of top teams available, more energy points, and a sort of higher ranking there, so you can go and earn more stuff. I guess the problem is, in order, unless you know what you're doing, having the best NFTs, having a good set of actors isn't very good if you don't know what you're doing, because you have to understand how the game works. So maybe there's a sort of a way of you sort of build up over. You can imagine over time maybe people start out here and it's not costing them very much. It doesn't say actually, yeah. So this is like an upfront fee, so $5, and then you pay that per day that you're renting. So you can imagine people sort of just, it doesn't seem like too onerous to pay $5 and sort of experience the game. And certainly when Axie Infinity was very popular, you can imagine lots of people doing this rather than the people who did it go off and pay $600 to buy the Axies and go and do it. So that's sort of an interesting model. They also have this courses thing, so you can, it says it's free, support and discounts. So this is like teaching you how to play Axie Infinity, which is almost like sort of what the guilds give you. So you are sort of getting everything that a guild gives you. It's just sort of being packaged in a different way where you, the user, is paying an upfront fee and sort of choosing your service, rather than the guild model where you have to sort of be selected. You have to go through a sort of selection process by Discord to be signed up to the guild, and then get taught. So the same thing's sort of happening. I guess this is just a way of sort of breaking up the same process and putting a sort of gated fee. Which who's to say whether this is going to work or not? I don't know. Certainly the guild model has been very successful previously, not so successful now because there's no big games supporting it. Although people are trying, looking around for other games. So maybe the thing that's wrong with the guild model is trying to put thousands and thousands of people into a blockchain game. Maybe if you're only looking to put sort of tens of people in, that sort of works out a bit better. But interesting nevertheless. And as I say, Lootrush have raised $12 million, which is a pretty large sum from some pretty sophisticated investors. So they obviously think that this is something where, particularly if you start rolling out a bunch more games, then once you've got people signed up here, they might try Axie, decide they don't like it, but go to Gods Unchained. And certainly the ability to rent NFTs, I think, is super undervalued. I guess my question would be, would you want this in a centralized, in a sort of in a platform that allows you access to lots of games, or is it going to work better within the game? So a game like Splinterlands already has like a strong rental system within its game, so you don't need to go through a third party in order to rent those things out. You rent them from the game. And I guess if rental became very big, every game would just have its own internal rental system, then it would sort of subsidize with its own tokens and such like. So that makes it hard for these sort of platforms, I think, to extract value. Obviously the difference is this sort of becomes a discovery mechanic as well. So I guess there's both there's opportunities for both sort of models. And if Lootrush can build up like a strong marketing brand that they are the place to go to play blockchain games, don't worry about sort of downloading the game yourself, just sort of come through us. Then obviously they can offer a whole bunch of sort of distribution and discounts of their own, probably launch their own coin, all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how it pans out. If you want to sign up, you can. I can invite a friend here. There we go. I can earn $5 per friend I refer, and if they must reach a weekly goal, for instance 70 SLP for the first week in Axie Infinity, for me to earn a reward. So I don't think I'm going to get any rewards from you guys unless you're really keen on Axie Infinity. But there we go. This sort of stuff is also valuable for a platform play where you're basically really looking to scale big. and really get the word out there in a way that potentially is harder for individual games to do. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, playing blockchain games and keeping track of what's going on. Thanks for watching. See you guys.